What is going on, South by East fans and fam? Welcome to the South by East podcast, where we talk about the culture, the scriptures, and everything that is in between. John, where we at today?
You know, bro, as a part of our culture, we have some cultural norms that we practice. This past year in strategic planning, we added another one. That one, because it was something that we said so frequently, we said we need to write this down. And it's boundaries are healthy. But what does that apply? Does that just means in assignments you take and don't take, and how you spend your time, or is there more? Today, you know, we're about to look at a clip, and it talks about boundaries inside of forgiveness and how it actually helps us to be healthy emotionally. So why don't we take a look at that?
We weaponize forgiveness against people that really subjects them to more abuse. So we really don't have a framework for what forgiveness actually is. We just say, forgive, you gotta forgive, you gotta forgive. What the hell does that mean? I developed a framework for forgiveness, 3 commitments. And this is my assessment. You don't have to go with this. I'm just gonna share it with you. And if it works for you, take it. If it doesn't work, discard it. The first commitment in forgiveness is, I mean you no harm. If I forgive you, I'm not trying to get you back. I'm not trying to get vengeance. Second commitment is, I wish you no harm. That's where a lot of us struggle. We waiting for that thing to come back around. Like, I'm looking, like I can't wait. But guess what? While I'm wishing and hoping and looking for you to get yours, that's energy I could have put into living my life. I mean you no harm. I wish you no harm. Here's the third part. I refuse to be harmed by you any further. Forgiveness does not mean stay and subject yourself to abuse. You ain't got to be around people you don't want to be around. You don't owe anybody access to your life. When Jesus was on the cross, Jesus said, Father, you forgive them. Jesus didn't say, I forgive y'all. He said, Father, you forgive them. I'm done.
He said, you forgive him. I'm done.
Bro, look. You know where I'm at on some stuff, and that is an area that third one was possibly the hardest one for me to start growing in being in ministry. Like, I'm not trying to get you back. You gotta. You're not gonna last really long in the workplace, like secular or ministry workplace, if that's your deal. Yeah. And then here's the deal, but man, look, he was right. You could be in that place where, like, I'm not gonna try to get you back, but I'm waiting for it to hit you. Yeah, I can't call it karma because I'm Christian, but I'm gonna call it the parable of the sower and the seeds. Right. And I'm gonna call this you reap what you sow. Right. And that's where I'm gonna take it. But then you have to get to a point, because like what he said is like, man, look, you focusing and spending time on that, it's time that you, and energy and emotions that you could have been putting elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And even when you get to that point, what you find yourself is you steady be in a point where somebody steady calls you home. And here's the deal, and it's changed. Man, I'm gonna tell you, social media has changed some stuff. Because before, like, you didn't feel like you were constantly bombarded with stuff.
Yeah, that's
and so now, man, I practice heavily social media, man. There's like some steps. I've said this in previous podcasts. You get about 2 good negative, like, this caused a twinge in me when I read the post before I snooze you, okay? So I'm gonna give you a 30-day snooze. And when you come back out of that snooze, if there's still something that causes anxiety in me, I'm gonna go ahead and unfriend you.
Let's get on out of there.
Okay? And then it's like, man, if I see, like, even your comments on another person's post, it's still causing in my stomach, I'm just gonna block you.
You're blocked.
And I'm just gonna say, look, that is not a space that I gotta, there's nowhere in scripture where I'm commanded to give you access to me on social media. Yeah. Someone that I don't even live in geographic proximity to, posted something that I found really, really offensive this week. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna unfriend them. Cause I'm like, look,
I don't need that.
I don't even
have
live
that.
in geographical proximity to this person to impact their lives and anything.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the deal, before I did it, I just I said, let me not make a snap decision or judgment based on this one post. So I went and said, let me go to their wall and kind of scroll down. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh, this
I should have been out of here.
This is, but I hadn't seen anything. You know,
Right,
the
right.
algorithm
Yeah.
will hit you where you don't see.
Yeah,
But
you're
I saw.
like,
I was like, oh, this is a
Time to
constant
move
stream.
on.
So I said, now that I've seen this one thing and interacted with it, if I don't act on it, I'm gonna see
seen it.
a constant stream of this. And I was like, you know what?
I don't need that.
I don't need that, and that's not healthy for me to see this constant stream. So I got to do it. And here's the deal. Here's what I understand too. I might be that person for somebody else, and I want them to do what's healthy also.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna look.
Right.
It's not gonna impact me. There's been people in my life who have moved further away for different reasons relational with me, and I've just kind of buried with different things else. And I've just gave myself that same freedom to say, man, when I can't make something, or I can't do this or this or that, I don't feel guilt attached to that. Mm-hmm. And I also realized they had to do what was best for them at that time too.
Right. And that's the thing too, is it also impacts our relationships. So you're talking a lot about access, but I mean, let's pull this into 3D. So there's this other piece of that I've been learning about that has to do with relationships that maybe you cannot escape. Mm-hmm. So the other day, one of my kids dropped in the chat. They were like, hey, games tonight, I ain't got no money. And I was like, okay, good for you. Like, I didn't have nothing to say, but I knew that they were asking for help, but they didn't ask for help. And I'm one of the people, I'm like, hey, I'm a words guy. If you want help, ask for it. And don't nouns.
Don't try to backdoor me
don't hit
into
with
an
nouns.
ass.
I'm like, yes, that is a noun. Go on about your business. Like, you say what you want.
Yep.
And so they said that I didn't get involved. Their mom got involved. I was like, okay, cool. And they were kind of talking. And then they were like, well, can somebody just pick me up? Me and their mom both at work. Can somebody pick me up, take me home so I can get some money, bring me back so I can go to the game? So I started to get a little upset. And I got ready to respond. And I stopped. And I started going, wait, why am I angry? I was like, if somebody else's kid told me, man, I ain't got money to go to this game and I don't have a ride home, I was like, dang, that sucks. But it wouldn't impact me any kind of way. I'd just be like, that sucks, man. Like, next time, remember to bring your money. Like, that's it. Like, I wouldn't have thought much about it. But I'm like, this was giving me some emotional weight. And so I had to think about why. I was like, why? I'm like, well, I'm getting emotional weight and anxiety about it because I'm thinking, if I had to go get you, come back, I'm already trying to get off work early so I can go to this game because your sister's playing in it. How much work will I have to do? I start calculating how much work I'd have to do, how much time I'd have to spend at home, what I have to do to make that happen. And then I start thinking about how unfair that is and how it's not right. Then I start thinking about why don't you understand and now I feel unloved. And then I went, wait a second. I could just not do anything about this. I was like, I don't have to be angry. I'm not really upset about what you did. I'm upset about what I think my response is going to be. If I change my response, I no longer have to be upset. And so my response was, hey, fam, you go to a school of close to 1,000 people. I know the stats of your school. Somebody in there got $6. I'm going to let you figure that out. Hey, let me know how it goes. Praying for you. It kept it pushing, bro. And I was like, and I found a lot of situations with my kids, with other people that I'm like, I'm not in a place where I could just go, I can't be around you. No. But I'm in a place where I'm like, but I don't have to let you put me in that position. No. And I was like, man, my anger wasn't really with them. My anger was with me because I was subjugating myself to abuse. And once I stopped subjugating myself to abuse, I'm like, there's a whole bunch of opportunities for me to teach a lesson. I'm like, this is good. This happened. This
is what I tell people. You better with bro than with me. Because hey, so I'm real big. You know how I am about men. about men, and developing men being men. And like if you kind of say something like, man, I wish I had this, and I ain't got this, or you sit there like, I don't know, bro, I'm gonna be unmoved. Like, I walk past like, man, I hope you get that figured out. And but even like, and I'm teaching, same thing. I teach my kids too, because I feel like moves like that are emotionally manipulative. And if you have an ask, just make the ask, and then give me the opportunity to either respond yes or no. And I've had talks with my kids, and they're like, well, because I didn't think you would say yes. And I'm like, and still,
could have asked.
You just need to ask. So there was a couple weeks, like Tuesday nights or music lesson, Tuesday afternoons and nights or music lesson nights with the sublet. So my daughter does singing lessons with you. Then we leave. One of my son does guitar lessons. We have to sit a little while, and then the other one does guitar lessons and drum lessons and guitar lessons. And to give my wife time alone, I tell my daughter, like, hey, you're gonna go with me and the boys to music lessons, and you'll sit there with me, bring a book, and you don't have any electronic devices, bring a book, and we're gonna give mama some alone time. And one time it was like my daughter was like, she wanted to stay there with mom because she had sometimes before she had stayed there with mom, but I just knew, I was like, I've seen my wife's schedule. I'm like, I had a lot of travel this year. This is gonna be your time. And so my daughter started like, well, I'm so tired, I'm so sleepy, I'm so this or that while we were at the lessons. And I the whole time we were there, I didn't respond to it one time. We pull in the garage, get out, and I said, hey, you can go get a shower and go to bed. Because the whole time we were at music lessons,
Tell me how tired you were.
You told me how tired you were. So I don't want dinner to interrupt.
You getting your rest.
You getting your rest. So you don't need dinner tonight. I'm gonna let you go straight to shower and straight to bed. Guess what has never happened again?
Never complain about being tired, I bet.
Never happened again, right? Because I knew it was like, that was not, because as soon as we got in the car, she was playing on her brother, she was everything else when she thought she was gonna get what she wanted at that time. When she figured out, oh, this does not work with daddy, right? It was a change, and I was like, look, and I told her, I said, hey, you know one of our things in this house is we don't emotionally manipulate people. If we got to ask or desire, man, we just state that. And the answer might not be what we want, but we still just state it, and we just give a dignified opportunity for that person to respond.
Come on.
And I want you to operate that way. I don't want you to be in your life trying to emotionally manipulate people.
Right.
Because that's not how you form solid, deep relationships. People always come out feeling used like that.
And that's the thing about those boundaries is, sometimes people think that boundaries are against people, like you're building up a wall. I'm like, no, boundaries are also structured. If I walk into a building with no structure, I'm getting rained on. Like I need structure. We need boundaries. I need to know where the rooms are. I need to know where the bathroom is. I need to know where I can't go and where I can go. And people should have that in our relationships. In all of them, parent and children relationships, spousal relationships, just romantic relationships, platonic relationships, we should have those boundaries because they're clear as kind, unclear as unkind. And when we don't build boundaries, we create unkind and unsafe relationships, not just for us, but also for the other people in the relationship. Because all the people I know who have bad boundaries are also the most passive-aggressive people in my life. And they'll explode on you, and you're like, I didn't even know I was crossing a boundary because you didn't make that
And they're the energy suckers. They're the energy vampires also in your life. Not only are they passive aggressive, but they're the energy vampires. They just suck the joy out of a space that they're in because they won't just actually say it. It's always this passive aggressive move, and everybody knows like, okay, what are we running into today?
We waiting to get to the end of this journey, trying to go through the maze. And like, we don't have to live that way. I love his teaching about.
Yeah, and people give up. Here's the deal. I'm in here. When you're when you're in a relationship with a passive aggressive person that's an energy sucker, one of the things it leads to is you get to a point where you give up because you feel like, at first you think, I'm gonna make this adjustment and then, okay, we'll be good. Okay, I'm gonna make this adjustment and then we're gonna be good. And then you give up hope that person is actually ever gonna really be good in the relationship.
Yeah.
And so you like, I'm just gonna stop trying. And because you identify as like, what's broken is not my actions, it's something inside that person they refuse to work on.
Right. So there's nothing I can actually do.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can actually do. But what do you guys think about this teaching on forgiveness? Did it hit you? Where did it hit you at? We want to hear about it in the comments section here, especially on Facebook where we're building a lot of our community, but also on YouTube. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast spot if you listen in audio only. And we'll see you again next week.
In the intersection.